Now for a treat we've been waiting for all morning. Singer-songwriter Missy Higgins. Her new project is a cover album of 15 fantastic Australian songs and a companion book of essays.
She's also expecting a baby, so that's a whole lot of projects. Missy Higgins is with us now. Missy, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning. Thank you.
First of all, congratulations.
Thanks.
When's the baby due?
Early Jan.
How you been feeling?
I've been feeling pretty good. The first little section was quite rough.
Yes.
But I'm in the middle section at the moment, which is, yeah, I've got energy and
you've got
feel
those
pretty
fabulous
healthy and
second trimester hormones going on.
Yeah,
Why don't they sell that at the chemist? Don't you think? Oh, honestly, you could really do with that.
It's good because I'm about to go on a really long tour, so if I
was
nauseous, it just wouldn't be.
I was reading you've been consulting other female artists on how to handle a ukulele and guitar, piano while pregnant on tour.
Yeah, because I just thought, if this continues to grow and I have to have a guitar on my stomach, I don't know how it's going to work. But yeah, I was asking Claire Bowditch about it and Vicky from the Waifs, and they said it's fine, it's fine. And I've actually been rehearsing the last few days with my band, and it's actually easier with a belly because the guitar is kind of slanted upwards, so I can actually see what I'm doing more. It's great. I recommend it.
I was thinking you might have to go Beatles style. Remember in the early days when they had their guitar right up on their chest like that?
Well, I've been playing the ukulele a bit more because it fits very nicely there.
This is a nice idea, covering Australian songs. A lot of artists have been doing this over the last few years. Something about contemporary Australian performers really wanting to go back to the Australian songbook. And when you do go back to that songbook, and it's incredibly wide and incredibly deep, you find some gems there. Yeah,
you do. I kind of wanted to find songs that were a little bit less common to cover as well. Like I didn't want to set out to do
the Flame Tree or anything.
Yeah. Well, it's been done, you know,
yes.
and so many of those, you know, Crowded House and Paul Kelly songs and Hunters and Collectors songs have been done, you know, rightly so, because they're amazing. But I wanted to find songs that were maybe a bit more obscure and from artists that weren't so well known. And I wanted to do something really unusual with them, you know, something that would give the fans of the original version a fresh kind of take on them. So it was a really fun project, and yeah, I did listen to a lot of Australian music, trying to find the right songs.
It was also finding songs that spoke to you as well, and you've written this companion book of essays as well, where you explore the feelings that are triggered in you listening to those songs. Yeah,
exactly. So I've written this book to go with the album, which is kind of an accompaniment for people to take home and just kind of get a deeper experience of why I chose the songs. And it's also quite autobiographical, so I go into, you know, growing up singing jazz in my brother's jazz band and writing a fan letter to Paul Dempsey and going to my first rave when I was 16 and wearing high heels and how that was just a really bad idea. So I use each song on the album as a springboard to kind of chat about whatever I feel like.
Where you are.
Yeah.
It's lovely seeing a return from you, if I can put it in those terms, sort of the writing and the music and the performing, because there has been a sense, I guess, over the last, you know, 5, 6, 7 years of you disappeared a little bit from view. That was a choice deliberately made, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, for my after my second album, I got quite a fair bit of writer's block, and I couldn't write songs for a year or two, so I decided to kind of go off and do something different. I went to university for a while and did a whole lot of things that I felt I'd missed out on because I'd been doing music since I was, 17.
You started out so young.
Yeah. So yeah, I took a bit of time off, and that's when I kind of discovered, I thought of the idea of doing a covers album. I thought that would be a really good way to kind of bridge the gap.
What did you come to understand about writer's block at that time? What do you think it is?
Oh God, you know, if I knew, I'd write a book about it and sell 1 billion copies. But it's definitely something that passes, and I think that was the biggest lesson for me, is that it's something that's, you know, a lot of artists get writer's block and they freak out because they think they're never going to be able to create again.
It's over.
It's over, but it always passes, and if you just realise that, then it passes even quicker. So.
One of the songs you cover is a great one by Slim Dusty. You'll perform it for us shortly. It sends tingles down your spine. It is a different version to the one Slim put out. You also ran it past his widow, Joy. How did she react?
She loved it, actually. Joy was actually the one that wrote the song, which I didn't realise when I recorded it. it, I found out later. She actually wrote quite a few songs for Slim. And yeah, she wrote back and she said, "Missy, you've just made my day. I've just been driving back from somewhere in the middle of Australia, yeah, in the bush, and had it through the speakers, and I just love what you've done with it." And I did it as a duet with Dan Sultan on the album too. Yes. So she really liked the combination. She loved the ukulele because her and her sister used to play ukulele in their duo. So yeah,
we're a big fan of Dan Sultan as well. He's been on the couch, and just a fantastic artist. What happens when you record songs, put them down on an album, and then you go out and tour in support of it? Does something change in not only your presentation and performance of the song, but do you then get an opportunity to reflect back on how you decided to record it? And does your thinking about that change when you're in that very sort of that communication, that dialogue, I guess, with an audience in performing the song? Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely. The songs change so much over the course of their life, and when you take a song from the studio into the venue, it has to change because, you know, on the album we have so many strings and we have so much percussion and all this kind of lush stuff, so you have to adapt the arrangement. And there's something about that connection with the audience too, that you feel the song kind of comes alive in a different way, so it takes on new meaning and it takes on a bit of a different sound because you're working off them and vice versa. So.
Well, we won't have lush strings this morning, and we'll hear from you in just a moment.